Alright, today I've got an awesome mail day for you, and I wanted to make another video about the cards I got over the weekend. It has nothing to do with the state of the hobby, but it was just kind of interesting reflection on how difficult some of these sets are to buy on the internet, whether in set form or individually. So that's for another day. Two things came in. Let me see if I can find anything else here that also came in. Some letters here. I thought I had an autograph request, and I don't. Got a piece of YouTube mail here, which I'll get into another video here. And what we want to do is show you what I got. So I purchased from, I believe, Dream Books here. It's called Dream Books Company on eBay. They're out of Denver, Colorado. I think they have another site, or there was one that was mirrored exactly to them, the same format, so it might be them as well. I picked up 3 DVDs because they were buy 2, get 1 free, and so I picked out the best ones I could for the price. One of them does not have a jewel case because I've taken that out. I gotta figure out where I put the disc here. I'm moving stuff around real. So I got for my series here Art 21. I was pretty sure I did not have that one. If I don't have that one, hopefully that will be a good replacement. It's very possible that these places put on different cases from different films, you know what I mean? But this case here was pretty icky. Some goop and melted spot off of there, and some yuck on there. Been around for a while. And then the disc is more or less, I wonder if they polish these things. There's a little scuffing, buffing scratch there or something like that. It's in relatively good shape. Hopefully this shall play. The other ones I had were in much worse condition, and they did play. So if I already have that, that should be a replacement, and I will get a better case for that one. So that case has to go. 2 more documentaries / films here. And again, some of these things are not super available in set form. I think this was a series that I caught just a little bit on PBS, and I was like, oh man, and maybe at the time it wasn't available on DVD, but I guess eventually it is. This one here is another slightly beat up one here, but they do all have their inserts in there. We don't really necessarily care about that stuff there. I'm not a person that needs to have all this. Many of these things are not on Blu-ray, and I wouldn't even care if they were. It would just cost me a lot more money. So this one isn't. This disc looks like it might be a couple fingerprints or 2 on it. There's the DVD right there. And I will replace this case as well because it's got some damages and some wrinkles and stuff like that, and a little rip spot there. I just like fresher cases here. So there is Design E2. There's different there's like about, I want to say this is an ongoing series. They do about 1 or 2 a year maybe. I don't really know. But this is from 06 or something. 2006, and I remembered a long time ago, and make notes and try to keep track of things and stuff like that, and I don't remember which one I got on there, but one of these is narrated by Brad Pitt. I don't know if I have that one there. And then the third one here is E2 Energy. This one case will probably clean up well enough. This might have been the one I paid a little bit more for, like an extra $1 or something like that. The disc looks like it's a little dull for whatever reason. It's possible it could have been a library disc and they were able to peel off that crud. I have no idea. No idea, but there's no library markings on any of these, so that's good. They said they work with libraries and other institutions. I have no idea. So it's possible these were used as learning materials somewhere. I don't really know. And this one came out in 2007. There's the back of it if I didn't show you that, and then the front there. They have very similar looking covers here, so when I say similar, so it's not always easy, this Energy and Design, not easy to remember which ones you have, but it's a series like that. They do take up a lot of shelf space, but I don't care. And then the last thing I got were my license plates, which I was kind of hinting at. One of the things I don't like about modern license plates is they look like junk. They got cool graphics on there, but the license plate, the metal is just nil. And you will find that. The old license plates, this is a foreign one, but they have that embossing on there, the stamping. And the new ones, a lot of places actually don't have that. And people will look at it as like, why should I pay a lot of money for that? These have, very little weight. They're super thin. You could bend them like a pretzel and no particular order. We'll start off the one I got as a bonus because I essentially, and I can't tell if it was ever used. It looks like it may have never been used. It might have been purchased but never used. This one here I bought as a bonus because they had it for $3. But look at the back of the plate. That just looks like, Hobby Lobby. It's junk. They don't do anything cool with that. And why should I be spending $40? People are spending $40 to $100 on plates like this. And because of some sort of perceived rarity. And there might be some. But this one's an unusual plate. And Montana looks like they have all kinds of cause plates. Get it? Cause plates. And this one here is Billings, Montana Catholic School. It's kind of interesting there with a logo there. I guess that's the Billings logo for that. I'm not familiar with any of that. There's some sort of hologram that's down here, so you can't replicate these things. There's some sort of like little kind of swirl design there with another little MT in there for Montana. And we don't know if you can see that. And see, the reason why I think it was not used or it was just purchased because there's no registration residue or tags on there that have ever been applied on there. So how they got these things, I don't know. I don't know the history of this plate or the tricks of it. You can see like the edges, the graphic comes right off. The thin little, decal or whatever, and it's just not good. They're just really chintzy, and maybe people have to replace them more often. To think of it, weather in Montana, the snow and all that, would this really hold up? I don't know. I don't know about that one, but these are the ones that I think you have to renew for a larger fee or something like that. I'm not confused. And we got one more, and the whole reason I bought this thing, this one, they could have like an issue. This one looks like it's got like a, it might have an issue from laying on something, but you can't see that in the pictures here. Got the same hologram, which is very, very hard to see. Some of these were slightly used or started to be used, and some of them were not. One of these afterwards that didn't sell. Think of those license plate frames, and they have like the little part that swoops down that has the name of whatever dealer on there. One of those had like that marking on there, so maybe it melted on that or it just left a mark there, and nobody wanted that one there. But this is Montana PBS license plate. Again, when seller has one, there's a Montana with like a little cow skull right there, and it says tab here, and it looks like it was never used, or if it was used almost nil. But there's kind of some sort of like dulling to the top of the plate, like something had laid on it, or like another plate. But you can see this one's even worse. You can see maybe a little bit of scratching on the back there, and like kind of a little bend right here. So it may have been used and the heat stamped off. They might have pulled out the stickers and heated it to be able to sell these. I don't know when this came out, how this was used. But it looks like it's got a little bit of wear to it, but I'm happy to get finally my first PBS plate there. So there's a logo right there. Kind of neat. Nice background there. And again, if you like the decorations from Montana, there's just dozens and dozens of schools and institutions and different organizations. They have Girl Scout plates. And they're anywhere from like $2 online to $75 for some of the newer ones. How many people have this on their car, and how long do they have to use it, and all this fun stuff. But I want to get some of the embossed ones. They have some for public radio, and they have some for like NPR and some other things there. Again, it's just something from my childhood. Dad would listen to NPR and on the radio in the car, and I was like, this is super boring, but I just liked, familiar things. And again, they're not available in every state, and Montana does not have all of those that I aforementioned there. But it's just kind of a neat little thing. And again, DPK 080 is what I could get. And the same thing with this previous one here. CVE 796 is what I could get. This one has a traditional looking texture on here, so this is a little better there. This one has virtually no texture, or if the texture is there, it's half of it's just gone. But again, this one here was $12 And that was one of the more expensive ones. Some of the ones with a little bit more wear were like $9. And the $9 ones, a lot of them got an extra bid on it. So somebody put in a single bid and they got outbid by one bid. I would hate to have to just, be the one to just get outbid by one bid. So I just put a bid on the $12 one, and I wasn't going to worry about it too much if I didn't get it. The other PBS license plates are usually around $30 to $80 because people don't have a clue. So I was happy to get that one. And then again, this one was a whopping $3. So there's just, all kinds of different opportunities to collect cool things there. Where I'm going to put them, I don't know. I might have to put a backer type board with this here, some sort of, backer board, and then put them in a bag so they don't get scratched up. Like I said, this one is so mint. The only wear on here is any kind of storage or shelfware. This is from last year or 10 years ago, I don't know, but I haven't seen that one. I have to look at the websites to see, maybe the Montana website to see, Montana DMV to see what kind of plates are out there. This one has a little bend in the corner there, but that, is probably from shipping. That might have got damaged in shipping. This one also has, I think, a little corner damage here. So again, those could have been damaged in shipping or in storage there, but that's easily bent back over. Again, this one you can just fold like a taco or a pretzel. No, I shouldn't have used that example there, but the metal is just so thinsy-dinsy. I like the old heavy gauge steel ones, but you can't get those anymore. So that is my video today, and thank you for watching that.
This is PBS.